So now to the penultimate and neo-climactic moment of the evening. This is now the award for Journalist of the Year, sponsored by Concern Worldwide UK. This is for a journalist who has made the most outstanding contribution to this field throughout the year. Let's have a look at examples of their work.
Catherine Hiller, Financial Times. Catherine Hiller covers the emerging character of modern China. One of her pieces looked at the working conditions that lie behind China's rapid growth after a spate of suicides at the world's biggest electronics factory.
While the company and local authorities say personal reasons were behind each death, critics claim a high-pressure and isolating work environment raised the risk of suicide. Across China, academics, labour advocates and young people are comparing their nation to an inhumane Industrial Revolution-era world, dominated by the search for progress and profits.
Lindsey Hilsum, Channel 4 News. Lindsey Hilsum's work ranged across government in Afghanistan, Christians in Iraq, and survivors of rape in the Democratic Republic of Congo. She also reported from the smuggling tunnels of Gaza.
I went down to have a look. If the Israelis allowed these goods across their border, they could check for weapons. But the Egyptian authorities inspect very little, so it's hard to see how this makes Israel a safer place.
Without the tunnels, there'd be no commerce at all. But what the Israeli blockade has done is turn Gaza into a criminal economy, which benefits smugglers, who of course pay taxes to Hamas.
Jill McGivering, BBC World Service. In the aftermath of Pakistan's major floods, Jill McGivering covered a range of stories for the BBC. Her reports about a baby, Samina, born by the roadside, drew a strong public response.
Across this busy road there are some tents that have been set up, but no one can get in there unless they have the right registration document, so these people are stranded. And I've just come across a woman who gave birth 5 days ago to a tiny little baby. She's very frail and barely even moving. It's hard to tell that she's even breathing. Her head is the size of my hand and it's resting in a small saucer which is propped up against a stone. Her mother, who gave birth on the roadside here, is sitting next to her and fanning her, trying to keep flies away from her face.
Three great journalists, three great women. What an unenviable task. In a year when there was no standout exclusive to sweep the board, the jury made its difficult choice from a very formidable lineup of reporting talent. Catherine Hill from the Financial Times produced powerful, descriptive, moving stories that reveal in stark terms how the actions of the world's rich can have an absolutely devastating impact on the lives of the world's poor. Her reporting on the social realities of the lives of workers in China was nuanced and enriched our understanding of the country as an economic powerhouse. Lindsey Hilsum of Channel 4 News submitted a body of work that illustrated storytelling at its very best. In a year of remarkable and consistent reporting, she gave voice to the vulnerable and exposed the harm that comes from political spin and official corruption. Her work underlined the notion of journalism as a force for progressive change, a masterclass in challenging and provocative journalism. Jill McGivering of the BBC World Service filed a range of vivid and compelling reports. From the floods in Pakistan, which were journalism of a rare order, she told the poignant and harrowing story of victims raising challenging questions about the handling of the crisis, and she provided eloquent and compassionate reporting. To present this award, please welcome Rose Caldwell, UK Executive Director, Concern Worldwide.
Concern Worldwide is an international aid agency which works to alleviate hunger and poverty in 25 of the world's poorest and most vulnerable countries. Therefore, we know how difficult it is to work in these countries and how even more difficult it is often to get stories out of the countries. And for that reason, we appreciate the work and courage of the journalists who cover and give voices to the often unheard. Concern Worldwide is very pleased to present the Journalist of the Year to Lindsey Hilsum, Channel 4 News.
Thank you very much. There were 4 different stories in this, so 4 different teams, so I can't thank everyone. So I'm just going to mention 2 fantastic producers, Girish Juneja and the wondrous Sarah Korb. And also to say, I was thinking about these stories, and I think that the theme which ran through them was persecution and lack of freedom. And lack of freedom and crying for freedom is a theme that's running through this year as well. And so we at Channel 4 News really believe it's important to tell those stories, and our viewers think it's important too. And we're very, very pleased that the One World Media Awards also thinks it's important. Thank you very much.